Thank you for listening to this Belly Up Sports Podcast Network product. Some said we go belly up, so we made it our name, and we're still here.
It's time to BS.
It's a well worth idea to ask the question for the New York Islanders. Are they for real? But I'll ask about that in a second. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, from the Department of BS, from the beaches of lovely Long Island, New York. This is the Isle of BS, a New York Islanders podcast, part of the Time to BS family shows and Belly Up Sports Media Network. And you can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Threads at Samuel Smooth and at Time to BS Podcast. Clips of the show on TikTok at Samuel Smooth. I'll also be making a new personal TikTok for myself. Because why not? Because I can. I might do that. I might not. Who knows? And subscribe to the show wherever you get your podcasts. On Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Good Pods, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, all them delightful things, you know what I mean? Just all them things. You know? It's great. And subscribe to the YouTube channel. Like, share, subscribe to the channel on YouTube. And comment your thoughts on what you think of the Islanders and everything going on with them. But on today's episode, I'm probably going to take a deep dive into the cesspool and debatable GM tenure of former Islanders GM and President of Hockey Operations, Garth Snow. I will give my honest-to-God thoughts on the New York Islanders so far in the month of November. And I will also look ahead. Well, but as of this recording, the Islanders will play at home against the St. Louis Blues. And, listen, I'm not going to overhype myself. And what I think the legitimate reaction would be if the Islanders were to, let's say, go on a realistic tear of birds, hi. Yeah, birds. Yeah, Donut, there's birds outside. What do you expect? It's the outside. But as I said before, I'm not going to overhype this team. I'm going to take it as it goes. My complete reaction and viewpoint as a fan is the complete opposite of what, let's say, a normal fan would be. I'm going to take everything with a grain of salt and take it as it comes. Because what does that make me? An overhyping fan. And I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that on this program. I'm never that kind. I don't want to be that kind of person. Ever. Shut up, birds. God. I like how I'm trying to tell a bird to shut the hell up because I'm recording a podcast because, I'm a psychopath. Anyway, wow, the Blue Jays are just not. Hold on. Shut up. God. Still hear them. It's fine. Screw birds. Screw them. Where was I? Where was I, my brain? Ah, yes, delightful, the New York Islanders. So, the Islanders, in their last 7 games, they were on a road trip. And they finished with a 6-1 record. 3 of their wins were in overtime. 3 consecutive wins were in overtime. New Jersey, Vegas, then Utah. Then they lost to Colorado 4-1, which was okay, it's the Avalanche. They're really freaking good. And then they go to Dallas. Now, they beat the Stars, but in controversial fashion. Say what you want. I'll tell you right now. that game should have gone to overtime. What the result would have been? No idea. No idea. That's for no one to know and no one to find out. And then they go to Detroit to finish the road trip and destroy the crap out of the Red Wings. So I have a legitimate... So the question, the segue here leads to this question. Are the Islanders for real? Are they for real? As of it currently stands, the Islanders have 26 points. They are 3 back of Carolina for the Metro Division lead, 1 point behind New Jersey for second place, for tie of second place. And they're 8th overall, I believe. No, they're 3rd overall in the Eastern Conference. But in the NHL as a whole, they're 7th overall. They're tied for 7th. Actually, in a 4-way tie. Boston, Los Angeles, Minnesota, and the Islanders and Vegas. Sure. They're like in a 5-way tie for 6th place. Okay, that's cool. I think they are. I mean, they're really fun to watch. I've craved for just good hockey. I don't care how they do it, just win freaking games. They're winning games. And the answer to the question if they're for real or not, yeah, they're for real. But that's an opinion of mine. It doesn't make me correct. I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, plan the parade. Just plan the parade. Just plan it. Just plan the parade. We're going to the Hempstead Turnpike or downtown Garden City for a parade. We're doing it. No. Wrong button. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing that. I don't want to do it because I just want to take everything with a grain of salt and take it as it comes. That's how I am. That's how I want to be, and that's how I'm going to continue to be that way. But I wouldn't lie and say, yeah, this gets me excited. I'm trying too hard to not get extremely aroused by the Islanders. I'm trying very hard to not get extremely excited. But it's difficult. It's difficult to do so. I want to share some more viewpoints, but I have a couple more things to get to. And I have a lot on my brain that I just want to share. I don't know, it's been... I'm trying to do the thing where I want to tell what I want to say, but I also don't want to ramble for 20 minutes on one topic. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. So, I think it's an interesting segue we're going to get to here with Lou Lamoriello. Lou Lamoriello has been revealed to still be behind the scenes as an advisor to Scott Malkin and John Collins and the rest and the ownership majority of the ownership group for the Islanders, and as an advisor for Matthew Darche, is not making the decisions. And of course, Isles Twitter went insane. Oh, Lou's still there. No. Relax, people. Relax. Jesus.
Starts a conversation like that. I just sat down.
Or, here's another idea that's
Literally.
be very controversial.
Shut up.
You could shut the up.
Just shut up. Like, you don't run the team. I swear, everything that this team does, the fan base has a, like, either deservedly or rationally irrational reaction to the news. Oh my God, they traded for Bo Horvat. What did it cost? Anthony Beauvillier? No! Why would they do that? They didn't give Beauvillier and Barzell time to mesh. Shut up. don't get it. I mean, I do get why Lou's still there, because Darsh is a rookie, in quotes, a rookie GM. But for the fan base to absolutely lose their bacon over the fact that, okay, Lou Lamoriello, here are my thoughts on Lou. Here are my legitimate to God thoughts on Lou. Lou brought stability for the first time for this franchise in what feels like 30 years. But really it was like 25 since Bill Torrey was there. Garth Snow, and we'll get to him later. Garth Snow, as much as he was a head case of a GM and made some okay decisions, give or take, they were not a stable organization under Garth Snow, Charles Wong, Jack Capuano, and so forth. They weren't. Lou, to his credit, brought stability and structure to the Islanders, which they have craved since the 80s. And the fact that he's being, cast aside and hated and stuff like that. Like, he's the worst GM in Islanders history since Mike Milbury. I'm like, wow, really? You are that stupid? Like, you are that just blind to brilliance? I swear, Islander fans must be eternal pessimists. Just eternally pessimistic. And they can't enjoy happiness. I don't understand it. I love making fun of my fan base. I really do. Because I like to speak, in my eyes, the truth. It may not be true. I'm glad it's not. It may not be true, and that's fine. But I get why Lou's still here, technically, on the island, because Matthew Darsh is a rookie general manager and needs some advice and whatever. But they're playing well. So really, who the hell cares? Who the hell cares, really? In my honest-to-God viewpoint. This show ain't free, so time for some ads.
Hey guys, this is Hector from the Insert Name FC podcast, here to tell you guys about Canada Dips. It is a great tasting, superior alternative to traditional dip, using CBD in a way that is radical, enjoyable, and effective. It comes in 5 core flavors: wintergreen, mint, citrus, mango, and American spice. Canada Dip CBD is the new evolution in dip, allowing guys to enjoy great, long-lasting taste without the downsides. If you guys want to go ahead and try them out, use the code BELLYUP20 at CanadipCBD.com. Once again, BELLYUP20 at CanadipCBD.com, and you'll get yourself 20% off your purchase. Thank you again for Canada Dips for being a great partner of Belly Up Sports.
Now, I mentioned earlier in the program how I was going to talk about former general manager and president of hockey operations for the Islanders, Garth Snow. Garth Snow was around for majority of my life as Islanders GM for 13 years, 14 years, something like that. It was a long damn time. And I understand the moves that he made were not popular to a point. I understand that Garth was a Tavares guy. And I understand when Garth left, ultimately JT left, which caused the great divide in the fan base, and I understand that. Garth, in spite of the frustrations and insanity and just, like face planting into the ground. That's how I view this team under Garth Snow. Garth Snow was a stroll down a foresty path, see all the squirrels and the chipmunks and the birds in the air and stuff like that, and the flowers, the fresh scent of nature. You trip and bird shit. Or bear shit. And then it's just, it's bad. Because they would lose these games. They only won one playoff series under the tenure of Garth Snow, which ironically enough was their first playoff series win since 1993 in 2016, but take it as it is. Garth made some interesting moves. He had this weird habit of taking a stick like a wooden stick and turning it into a tree. What the expression was, do you remember how Matt Barzell first got here? He took Griffin Reinhart, who was a third line AHL defenseman, and they turned it into a first-round pick from Edmonton, who became Matt Barzell. And then he used some picks from the aforementioned Reinhart trade to move up to select Anthony Beauvillier. Now, out of the two of them, Barzell's worked out more. He also took some draft picks to Boston, got Johnny Boychuk, and Chicago for Nick Leddy, and also got from Washington Yaroslav Halak, who I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, is the 4th or 5th winningest goaltender in franchise history, which is not saying a lot, but whatever. I think it's him. Greiser's in there somewhere. Greiser's in the top 10, I believe. Sorokin's, I think, 2nd or 3rd. And then Chico's in there somewhere. And obviously Billy Smith is number 1. But obviously Billy's going to be number 1. Hall of Famer Billy Smith. But Garth's tenure was weird and frustrating. That'd be the best way for me to describe the tenure of one Garth Snow. And I think a majority of Islander fans would agree with me. I think the billboards were deserved to a certain point. But then he should have been fired years ago, or years prior to when he was officially let go. He should have been. But that's also on ownership, and I get why ownership held on to him as long as they did. Because he was kind of stable, but then you looked on the on-ice product, it's like, how are you still the GM? And you fired Capuano, I get it. You also brought in Doug Waite to be the interim head coach and then head coach for a full year. And then the team ultimately cleaned house with Lou. But I don't know. I want to hear your thoughts on this. What do you think of Garth Snow as the GM? What were your initial thoughts? Or what were your overall thoughts on Garth Snow as the general manager of the New York Islanders? Did you like him? Did you hate him? Did you want to punch a wall? Or did you want to say, I don't know, why are you here? How are you still here? What are your thoughts? All right. That being said, ladies and gentlemen, that'll do it for this edition of ILBS. Be sure to like, follow, share, and subscribe to the show wherever you get your podcast. And don't forget to tune in every Monday, except last week. Last week there's a lot going on. Every Monday for new releases of ILBS under the Time to BS podcast page. I couldn't say podcast page, but whatever. And on Belly Up and Friends. Just look out for some more stuff. With that being said, my name is Dan Cruz. I'm coming to you from the beaches of lovely Long Island, New York. And I'll see you all in this life, and most certainly the next one. Cheers, everyone. Have yourselves a good night.